Hey, bunny fans, this is Fiona here, the bunny coach, and I had a question in today from Monica inside Fiona's Happy Bunny Club, and I thought it was a really great question, so I thought I would share the answer with you guys as well. So, Monica said, our friend sadly lost one of the bunnies, and ever since I'm wondering, do rabbits grieve when they lose their bonded partner? Can they be happy by themselves, or should they be bonded to have a companion if that is what they're used to? We rehomed Puka after owner lost the older bunny, and he seemed happy by himself. I don't think Mary is doing too well by himself. Mary's a boy. The bunny who passed was called Sue and it was a female. Okay, well, first of all, I'm sorry that your friends lost their bunny. It's really heartbreaking for the owners and also for the bunnies as well. A lot depends on what their bond was like. So we do think that bunnies grieve, and we do think that they grieve between 1 and 4 weeks. So it depends very much on the rabbit. Sometimes they seem to be absolutely fine by themselves, and sometimes they seem happier by themselves, and sometimes they seem very depressed because they've lost their bunny friend. So really, it's kind of a case by case basis. I've had bunnies in here for boarding who have been bonded for years and who actually seem to have come out of their shell a little bit when they're on their own and seem to be very happy and nearly have a new lease of life. I've also come across bunnies who've been very depressed and just didn't pick up. And they can actually die of a broken heart. So it is really, really very important to keep a really close eye on them. They can also die of gut stasis because if they go off their food, obviously their gut stops moving. So one of the most important things to do for your bunny when they lose their friend is to make sure that they're eating properly all the time. So if that means tempting them with something they don't normally eat, giving them a little bit more treats than usual, that's okay. Just keep a little eye on their poops as well and their general energy levels. But that's okay if it's only temporary. So don't feel too bad about upping the treats a little bit or offering them nice things they don't always get to eat. So the best thing to do usually is to give them that little bit of time to grieve, and give yourself a little bit of time to grieve. Give it a couple of weeks and see how everybody feels after it before you kind of rush into going off and getting another bunny. Because obviously you want to carefully consider the kind of bunny that you're going to get rather than just jumping into getting one and giving yourself heartache with, very difficult bonding, for example. I also think if the bunny's on their own a lot during the day and they're used to having company of another bunny and you're going to be out at work all day, then absolutely definitely need to go down the route of bonding them again because they will be very lonely on their own. If they're getting a lot of human interaction, then they can be okay. So it really just depends on those kind of factors, and also things like the age of your bunny. Sometimes people choose not to rebond if the bunny that they've still got left is older. They choose not to go down the cycle of having another bunny that's going to lose that one, and then they're going to lose the other one, and then they're going to lose the other one, and then it's kind of a whole cycle. So people choose sometimes not to do that. And that can be okay as long as the bunny's getting lots and lots of time and attention as well, and human interaction too. But in most cases, if they've lost a bonded partner, the best thing for them is to get another rabbit. So if you want to go down the route of getting another rabbit, the quickest way to do that is to adopt a rabbit that's already neutered. So from your local shelter or your rescue centre, that can be a really good place to find a new friend for your bunny. Some of them offer speed dates. I don't know if you saw my video on speed dates. I think they're not always reflective of how bunnies will get on. I've had a lot of people coming to me for bonding help where the rabbit has been fine on the speed date with the other rabbit, and then they've brought them home and all hell has broken loose. So it doesn't always necessarily tell you a whole lot, and a lot depends on how the speed date is handled. But your rabbit is out of their own environment, so they're going to behave differently towards a rabbit than they will when you bring them into their own home. But it can give you a kind of indication of whether they're likely to be fairly calm together or go straight into tornado. If they go straight into tornado even there, then you definitely don't want to bring that particular bunny home. So when you get a new bunny home, it is best if you can quarantine them for 1 or 2 weeks. So again, that's going to delay a little bit the bonding. It would be better if they were in separate rooms, and you should always feed and tend to your own rabbit first. And then after that, tend to the other rabbits just in case they're carrying something that you don't want to pass to your own rabbit. I know the benefit of doing it that way around is that your rabbit is less likely to smell the other rabbit on you, which will make them less aggressive. Sometimes when you bring a new bunny into the house, then your own bunny can behave very badly because they smell the other rabbit. So they're not stupid. They probably know the other rabbit is there, but that'll kind of lessen things a little bit. And then what you can do is you can have them living side by side for a couple of weeks before you start the bonding process. And if they're neutered, then you could start switching the pens over every day as well. I always recommend that pre-bonding because it helps immerse them in each other's smell, and it can make a really big difference to the bonding because they kind of get to know each other a little bit. So that can be a really helpful thing to do. But still having the other rabbit living right beside them can really make a difference and perk up your bunny, even if they're not actually bonded yet. So that can be a really good thing to do. Even if you can't start bonding immediately, still to have them beside each other for company can be really, really helpful. It can go the other way where they can be aggressive because it's not their bonded partner and it's another bunny in the house, but that should settle down over time, and still it's good for them to have some company beside them. and something to do to watch the other bunny can be really helpful as well, rather than just sitting in the corner being depressed, which unfortunately some bunnies do. So I hope that really helps. I hope that your friend's bunny's okay, Monica. And if they need any help with selecting a friend for their rabbit or some advice on bonding, just tell them to let me know. Okay. Take care. Bye, bunny fans.